It's Gorman in the Morning with Fletcher and Ryder. Now, 92 KQRS.
Gorman in the Morning, Minnesota's 92 KQRS. It is Tuesday, November the 11th. For the first of many times, happy Veterans Day, one and all. Honoring veterans is something that really we could never possibly do enough.
Yeah.
It's a day that my family always takes a minute. My dad was a member of the U.S. Marine Corps. Not always my favorite thing about my dad, because, you know, he learned some tough things in that Corps, but put it this way, he kept us all in a straight line. So props to you, Pops. So for anyone who has been a part of our armed forces, thank you so very much for your service. I am alongside Paul Fletcher.
Happy Tuesday. Let's go.
Ryder.
Bunch of people just got real butthole clenched right there. They
sure
must
did.
remember getting up super early.
I don't think anyone's more clenched than me and Fletcher. We had no idea you could play that.
Yeah,
That was amazing.
yeah.
I don't know. That takes some serious lung capacity right
Yeah,
there.
I was a
It
trumpet
is
player in high school. I'm
Tuesday.
impressed.
Yeah.
I was also a
That's
trumpet
right.
player in high school. Fun fact.
Really? I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Hold on, you've really been holding out.
I
What
have.
else do we not know? You know what? I'm sure you've actually made a calculated decision that that's the only thing you're going to let slip for months and months now. I get probably around April you'll drop another fun fact about your life on us that we
Yes.
don't know yet.
Yeah,
I look
know.
forward to it.
Secret agent.
All right, cool. Fair enough. I'm in New York City, which is kind of a cool thing. I'm playing a gig tonight with my band Howl Owl Howl, but that does not mean by any stretch of the imagination that I am not forever feeling Minnesota. So, Paul Fletcher, please give me some headlines.
All right. Well, as you mentioned, happy Veterans Day. Thank you so much to all the vets. A couple of quick housekeeping notes. Banks closed today. No mail today. Also, lots of freebies today. One I wanted to spotlight, Mason Jar Kitchen and Bar in Eagan. Veterans and active duty personnel can get a free entree from a Veterans Day menu. Also, yesterday we mentioned the free meal at the 5A Club, which includes a Juicy Lucy if you wanted to. You know what? I have to be honest. I'm a little disappointed to see most local joints are offering 25% off for veterans and a guest. And I mean, like, that's not nothing, but how about just a free meal? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's the large majority of them are 25% off if you look down of local establishments. Most chains do offer free meals, though, like Green Mill, Applebee's, Golden Corral, White Castle. They all have freebie deals. You can get a free haircut, too, from Great Clips if you
nice.
want. Today's the day to do the free haircut, man.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
And you can search the Google if you're curious about a specific business. But generally speaking, our local restaurants are offering 25% off.
Great.
We'll keep rattling off a bunch of those as we go throughout the show today.
Excellent.
The Expressway Suites Hotel in Fargo is being investigated by public health officials after a video shared to social media showed a staff member washing sheets in the hotel's hot tub.
Oh, my God.
It gets better. For real, this gets better. In recorded conversations, the hotel defended the actions, saying the hot tubs were sometimes used after a sheeting cleaning because they're allegedly effective at removing, quote, tiny little stains. It's caused a bit of a stir up in Fargo.
As someone who spent quite literally years of my life in hotels, I don't ever like knowing anything. I just assume that everywhere I go is disgusting, but I don't want to know. I don't want to know that. I don't need to look behind the curtain. That is incredible.
Agreed.
But a hot tub clearing out little stains. What are we even talking about? That's fantastic.
But they say after a sheet cleaning, so they're saying that the hot tub is more effective than their actual washing machine. Apparently.
Yeah, no.
It's
fantastic.
insane. I'm waiting for more to surface on this.
All I'm hearing is
that's
that
why-
they wash the sheets twice, which is great.
I'm just thinking maybe that had something to do with why Jerry Lundegaard tried to go out through that bathroom window in his hotel room.
Mm-hmm.
The hotel did say that the hot tub gets drained every day. So apparently those dirty sheets and those little tiny stains go down the drain.
Wait, so
now we can... I'm saying now we can complain about their wasting water. There's always something. There's always another layer of you got to be kidding me.
So they wash the sheets twice, and there is fresh water in the hot tub daily? Dude, 5-star hotel. You should be jacking up their rates.
You are very positive. I like it. A British man is dealing with a very rare complication from eye surgery. Mark Bryan, a 45-year-old teacher from London, had surgery on his right eye and experienced some unusual hallucinations for about 10 days after. It started immediately at home. He says he was cooking sausages when he suddenly saw what looked like a pair of breasts in the corner of his eye. And they didn't go away. For the next week and a half, Mark says it was like having, quote, Pamela Anderson pinned on my face. Doctors told him it was Charles Bonnet syndrome, a condition where the brain fills in missing visual information with hallucinations. These can be anything from patterns to full-blown people. The hallucinations popped up everywhere while brushing his teeth, watching TV, even at a local shop. Eventually, it did fade and his eye healed.
Steve, where'd you get your...
It sounds more like Charles Boner situation to me, but that's,
Where'd you get your eyes fixed, Steve? Because we got to send this guy to them.
Ovo, LASIK, and lens.
All
Let me tell you
right.
something. I did not experience hallucinations of breasts, and I'll tell you, I'm a little disappointed. Frankly, they clearly did their job the way they're supposed to. Whereas I walked out and had great vision. So thanks for nothing in terms of hallucinating boobs. But then again, I did survive middle school and high school with that happening. So who needs eye surgery for that?
That's true. Ace Frehley passed away due to blunt trauma to the head from a fall, resulting in a fracture to the back of his skull, a subdural hematoma, and a stroke. This is from the Morris County Medical Examiner's report. They have classified Ace's death as an accident.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's about
Here I am in New York City, the New York groove, forever running through the back of my mind. Godspeed, Ace.
Absolutely. A Bigfoot field researchers organization investigator called an eyewitness account from central Pennsylvania, quote, sincere and credible. The witness, a retired civil engineer and Air Force veteran, reported seeing a dark figure cross Interstate 80 around 5:30 p.m. on October 4th. Traveling 150 yards behind another vehicle, he watched the human-like creature appear to stand over the car ahead. What the hell is he doing? He's going to get hit, the man said. The figure crossed all highway lanes in 3 seconds of smooth gliding motions before disappearing into woods without climbing the guardrail. 2 additional witnesses reported sightings that day. One hunter with over 50 years experience stated, I just want to add, I know what I saw, but don't know what I saw. This was not a bear.
Fat chance.
Meh.
You know what?
Meh.
Let's go back to something you've said in the past, Steve. Miraculously, nobody was able to get a phone out.
Nah.
We
No.
catch meteors all the time.
It's clearly a freeze or flight situation when Bigfoot sightings occur, and it's usually freeze. It's like, if I could just move my arms, grab my phone, go.
The first trailer for Michael, the upcoming Michael Jackson biopic, has shattered records by becoming the most watched music biopic trailer in history, getting over 116 million eyeballs in its first 24 hours. It's also Lionsgate's most viewed trailer ever. The film arrives in theaters April 24th, 2026.
Okay, I hadn't even heard that this was happening.
Yeah, well, so you've got the nephew of Michael that'll be playing Michael Jackson.
That was the question. Who in the world is going to play that guy?
Here's the thing. With everything that Michael was, you cannot botch this biopic. You have to get it right. Period. The end.
Yeah, he better be able to do this.
Man, especially that last one.
Oh, my God. I don't think that's ever going to get old.
Oh, trust me, I can make it get old.
We'll try. Please try, because I rather love it. It's Jafar Jackson, his nephew, is the one who's playing Michael.
Jafar. Is he? Do we know who Jafar's parents are? Who's his dad? Is it Jermaine? Because Jermaine did name a son Jer Majesty, which is my favorite celeb weird kid name of all time. Jer Majesty Jackson. How soon after his 18th birthday did that kid change that name?
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing immediate. It's getting to be that time of year, and in a new survey, 86% of people say they feel concerned about their own health when a coworker comes to work visibly sick, and 42% admit they'd think less of a coworker if they knowingly showed up sick. Your thoughts?
Yes, stay away, man. Get the hell out of here. I don't like it when anybody goes anywhere when they're sick. Work, the store, no, shut that down. Stay home.
Yeah, 100%.
Ask someone to bring you something and leave it outside your door. I have no problem when I'm sick. I shut the door. Leave me alone. Get away from me.
Same.
I don't want to get everybody sick.
It's funny how the pandemic changed this mentality, though. I feel like prior to 2020, we was like, oh, you tough it out. Nowadays, it's like, stay away.
Oh, yeah. And long overdue. And I mean, especially, I had a buddy who was going to come and see the band last week, and he said, hey, I got like a sinus thing going, and he goes, I'm not going to come. I said, thank you so much, because when you go visit your friend in a band on tour and you're sick, the whole band will be sick in 2 days. Just fun fact there.
Yeah.
Get away when you're sick. I give everyone permission to leave me the hell alone when you're sick.
Yeah, 100%.
Hey, let's talk NBA really quickly. Anthony Edwards tends to go off against the Utah Jazz. He's averaging just under 28 points for his career against the Jazz. And last night, no different. He had 35 points in a 7-point victory at Utah. The Wolves have now won 3 in a row. That is 5 of 6. Julius Randle didn't score until almost halftime, but he finished with 27 because that's kind of what he does. Last night in the National Football League, the Eagles beat the Packers. The final score was 10-7.
Really?
It was scoreless at halftime.
Wow. That's 2 10-7s in 1 week of football.
It really is. I did not suffer through that second half, I can assure you. But my favorite moment this morning when I woke up was the highlight of Packers kicker Brandon McManus. He was attempting a 64-yarder at the end of the game to tie it. And it's not hyperbole to say any of us could have kicked it as well as he did. You want to see a missed field goal, track that one down. It's incredible.
Wow.
It's just the kind of thing that just makes me feel good. One of the worst kicks you'll ever see. So enjoy that, Green Bay fans.
That's great.
Looking back briefly on this day in 1981, the Minnesota Norm Green Still Sucks North Stars scored 8 goals in the second period against the Winnipeg Jets in a game they won ultimately 15-2. If you're in a hockey game and you're watching a team win 15-2, are you actually enjoying it after a certain point?
If it's a home game,
if it's your
100%.
team,
Yeah.
Man.
It's just because
guess so.
How many games do you go to that end up 2-1 or 3-2, and so then when your team puts up 15, it's fun.
I guess you want to enjoy it while it lasts. Hey, Ramsey, what's up, girl? Like to have you with us. Happy you're around with us, Ramsey.
Hey, Ramsey.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
Gorman in the morning. Minnesota's 92 KQRS. Tracy Chapman's Fast Car. Tracy Chapman, a lot of people will take credit for discovering her, if you will, when she got a record deal and that first album was so big. One of those guys who actually did see her and brought her to the attention of the record company she actually signed with was a junior A&R guy named Brian Koppelman, who later wrote a movie called Rounders and went into TV, and he created and wrote a show called Billions and a whole bunch of other things. And he's been on The Bear as an actor the last couple seasons, and that's the guy who was like, hey, I think I found a star here. Kind of fascinating.
Wow,
Very cool.
That is fascinating.
And just to put a button on it, he's going to be at the Howl Owl Howl show tonight.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I've known that guy. Brian Koppelman saw my old band, the Black Crowes, when we were called Mr. Crow's Garden, the very first time we ever played New York City.
Huh.
Crazy. I didn't know that at the time. Many years later, I found out, he was at that gig. And he, like every other A&R person at that gig, did not offer us a record deal. He was like, you guys were terrible. I'm like, yeah, I know. Worst gig we ever played. But anyway, these things happen.
Okay,
Yes, Ryder.
Real quick for the non-musicians in the room, what's an A&R person?
That's the person who, back in the old days when there used to be a record industry, he's the guy that would sign bands. He worked for the record company. Artist and repertoire is what that stood for. And they were usually young men and women. A lot of times they would get very early starts in their 20s. They got their thumbs on the pulse. They're out every night. They're seeing new bands, seeing new singers. And they are the people who would meet you and then have a credit card to buy you drinks. And you'd be like, hey, good to see you. And then you'd think, what a corporate schmuck this guy is.
Yes.
But then occasionally, you'd meet someone that was cool. That's what happened with my band. We met a guy, and he's like, yeah, I kind of like what you're doing, and keep going. And then they just dangle the breadcrumbs and keep you moving towards something they think they could eventually sign. And then sometimes it works out. And most of the time it doesn't. Yeah, it's a whole lot of luck involved in all that kind of things back in the day. But anyway, Tuesday, November the 11th. I'm in New York City with Howl Owl Howl. We have a gig tonight at a venue called Webster Hall. Philadelphia looms tomorrow, but for now, it's all about the Big Apple.
Yeah, buddy. Webster Hall. That's awesome.
What's the
it's
cool
a great
thing?
venue.
What's the cool thing about Webster Hall? Like, I don't know much about the history of that.
Well, I don't either. It's just a room that you walk into, and immediately it's just a great gig.
Okay.
I only played there once. It was over 20 years ago, Stereophonics, but I've been to gigs there, and there's just it's an old place. It's been around forever, but it's just got the right feel. You just walk right in, and you're just like, okay, yeah, great. It sounds good. There's not a bad place to stand and or sit if you're so lucky to get a seat. It's just a really cool old venue. The kind of, there's a bunch of those old, not quite a theater, but bigger than a club venues in New York City. This is one of them. It's just a badass room, Paul Fletcher.
Yeah, in 2008, New York City, it was designated a landmark. U2's played there, Patti Smith, Guns N' Roses. And it used to hold elaborate balls in the 19th century. So this thing is legitimately historic in every sense of the word.
I feel like it's haunted. So watch out.
Hopefully.
I'll let you know tonight. Let's hope so. So a couple days off. It's been nice to get off and to have a couple days to just sort of recuperate from actually getting out and playing shows. 5 shows in a week for me. I was like, hey, it's been a minute since I've done that. So, but now I woke up today very much ready to go. So the last 4 shows of the tour coming up, and then I'm back. I'm back on Sunday. Monday we're back in studio. But right now I'm very happy to be out still. Yesterday did a bunch of media, did a bunch of press and all that kind of crap. So it wasn't fully a day off. Got to do what you got to do, man.
Did you have any?
Go out and chirp about the new band.
What was the most fun question you got asked?
Dang it.
Where'd the name come from? I only heard that every single time.
Right?
Well, Mike Mills, our bassist, has come clean with the fact that Michael Stipe named the band. I mean, it was his suggestion, which we were a little unsure of the lineage. I had been told that sort of. But yeah, he's like, well, the story is funny because every time someone asks, he goes, well, and you can, if you do like a bunch of interviews, even though you're talking to a different journalist each time, you get so tired of hearing yourself say the same things. It's really tempting to change the answer. And then you realize, well, wait, that's ridiculous. You have to remind yourself, no, it really does involve being disciplined and just tell the same story because it's a different audience every time.
Yeah.
But it's funny because the day started and Mike would be like, well, it's funny. We were some friends. We had a vacation. We were in Mallorca, and there was this bird at night that we heard. And I got out my app, and I was like, "What is that?" And it turned out to be something called a Snopes owl that's only there. And he tells the story, and it's a really kind of a cool story. And by the end of the day, he's like, "Oh, we were just sitting around drinking with some friends, and someone said Howl Owl Howl." It's just like every time he tells the story, it got a little shorter, a little shorter, a little shorter. Yeah, it's tough. Back in the day when there used to be a music industry and a record business, and they used to send you on like lengthy promotional tours before a release, I did a lot of that for the Black Crowes, and we'd go to like Europe for 3 weeks, and it would just be interviews. It would just be like a couple guys in the band, and I'm talking 8 straight hours every single day. And my God, is it mind-numbing? And when I see people, pop stars or whoever doing the grind, and when you see them and you can tell they've done this 1,000 times and they're still doing the job, I'm blown away because, man, that is not me. I hate telling the same story twice. I got to add at least a little something to it, or at least focus on something. It's by the way, these are obviously first world complaints because every musician on earth is like, I'd love if someone asked me about my band.
Right.
But, after a while, it's just, it does get a little mind numbing.
It's still real. I mean, it's still very real. It's your feelings are still very valid because it is the repetition has to be overwhelming.
It gets a little crazy, but you know what? That's all right. I'm all for it. You buy the ticket, you take the ride, baby.
Yeah,
That's
buddy.
how that works. Yesterday, Monday, I said before I learned a valuable lesson, or I learned the answer to an important question, which is what's better than going on the Today Show to promote your new band?
Yeah,
it's when your singer does it and you don't have to.
Dude, and you got credit in the office too. This thing was all over the sales pit. I got a text from our boss's boss about how cool this appearance was. Nice work.
And you ended up on TV anyway.
when you can be on the Today Show because you shot a video ahead of time that they would show on the Today Show, then you're really gaming the system. So it was a banner weekend for the kid here.
Hell yeah. Here's
pretty good about it.
Quick clip of that video.
It's just fun to be back out there doing it with new guys, with my idol. I mean, those guys were so influential on me growing up, and to be in a band with them now is pretty awesome.
Well, as it turns out, they actually have a message for you.
Oh, do they?
Take a look.
Hi, I'm Mike Mills. I'm Steve Gorman. We represent 2/3 of Howl Owl Howl, and we just thought we would take a moment to say to Darius, you're welcome. Because we know what a thrill it is for you to be with us every night. And it means the world to us that it means so much to you. So, really, man, anytime, you're welcome. From the heart.
So what do you have to say to the boys?
Say thank you for saving my career.
Well played. Well played by Darius there.
Listen, man, I mean, he just finished the better part of a year headlining arenas, and now we're in clubs in a three-piece band. And, we did save him. I mean, we bailed him out of the drudgery of performing to tens of thousands of people every night. Now it's about 1,000 a night, and that's when it really matters.
That's right. That's absolutely correct.
We're trying to convince him anyway.
He looked absolutely petrified for a second, like you guys were just going to pull the worst prank on him on national TV.
Yeah, he did look a little scared.
Oh, crap.
Uh-huh.
No, it was all good. Well, the funny thing is we were at the Stone Pony Friday night in Asbury Park, and someone said, "Hey, the Today Show wants to know if you guys will do a quick video for Darius. Just tell him how much you're loving the tour. Let him know." And I was like, "I'm not gonna say that. What are you, crazy?
Right?
Who are you talking to?" So, but we put our own spin on it. It was good.
Nice work. Immediately after you and Mills ribbed him, he said some very nice stuff about you two.
I mean, it's really been great. It's three guys who does it. It's not about money. We just wanted to make music together. Yeah. It's just so much fun.
And clearly, you're having fun.
Having a blast.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Nice work, Darius.
It is nice work. That really is true. I've said this a bunch, but it's totally true. Every musician that you know knows other musicians and other bands, and they get together and they say, "Man, we should totally do something someday," and it never works out.
Right.
Or it rarely happens.
Yeah.
And this thing has been. It's silly because we've been talking about this for 6 years. Over 6 years, we've been together for like 3 weeks in the studio total. Not even. No,
really?
2 weeks. I mean, because it's like you get 2 days and then 6 months go by because we all live in different cities.
Yeah.
And every time, just finding a time when everybody can do it. But we've known for the last couple of years, like, okay, as soon as we get enough, then we're going to get to work. We're going to go out there. So this tour has been the first time we're really doing this, like, for real as a band. And it's been an absolute blast. Yeah, it's funny. I got a lot of, my phone blew up too. Like people I haven't heard from forever, like, "Oh my God, the Today Show." I'm like, yeah, go to 92kqrs.com if you're so enamored with me every 5 days a week, Jack.
Yeah.
Get on board.
Yeah, bruh. What the hell?
I'll
tell you
now, make it happen.
Darius is so great in that spot, though. Watching that clip and him on the couch, he looks very comfortable. And he's kind of it's nice to have a spokesperson, probably, right? Somebody who's like right there and crushing it, and you don't have to do it.
He's done it. He's done a little bit of media in his life. But
oh yeah,
just a couple of times.
For a handful of interviews over the years.
Right.
Yeah. No, he is the consummate pros pro, to be sure. So that's my idea of a good time on TV, which is I'm actually not on TV. I'm in my own dressing room shooting a 30-second video. But that's why I was on TV yesterday. What about you guys? 651-989-ROCK. We got a post up on the Facebook page as well, right? Or anybody on Facebook been on TV?
Oh, sure. Our party girl, Rochelle, of course. The St. Paul Winter Carnival. I was part of a boat float dressed as a pirate. I like that.
I can see that.
Yeah. All those pirates had morning cocktails, having a good time dancing. So when the commentator came to our moment, he said, "And some folks like to get it started early," quite obviously. Nice
Yeah,
work,
if you'd said,
Rochelle.
"Which listener is that?" You give me 3 votes. Rochelle would have been one of the 3. I bet that sounds like Rochelle.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, that's how she rolls. Fletcher, what about that text line?
Chris in Bloomington says, "Way back in the 80s, I saw my back on CNN at a Mike Dukakis rally at my college. Fun fact, Dukakis had gone there immediately after the famous tank driving scene."
Ooh.
Oh, man. Man, did that tanked his campaign is what that did.
Yeah.
I just think it's
Man,
hilarious.
Dukakis was boat racing Bush all summer, and then all of a sudden it got tight.
Yeah.
Boy, he clenched in a big way. The first time I was ever in Boston, Massachusetts was the Saturday after that election, and everybody was so depressed. I'm like, you guys were all excited about the tank guy, huh? Really? Huh.
I just think it's hilarious that Chris said he saw his back, which is like just
fantastic. Hey, man, you take it when you can get it, baby. Fletcher, ever been on television?
I mean, I have been on television, but by accident. I was on TV with because, oh my God. Remember we were talking about trumpets earlier, Ryder? The Osseo High School Marching Band was a part of the Aquatennial Parade almost every year. And, the Osseo Marching Band appeared on one, I don't remember if it was WCCO or CARE or whatever, but we were part of the news, a news clip.
Oh, fair enough. Ryder?
Yeah. Oh, my probably 4.7 seconds of fame. Let me take you back to the late 1900s. I was in kindergarten. We were Q8 in elementary, Mrs. Dulac's class. We adopted, air quotes, a llama at the Como Zoo, and Channel 4 came down to shoot the news. So at the end of the story, it's just a full shot of my face smiling at this llama. I told my dad about it when he picked me up at daycare. I'm like, hey, I think we're going to be on TV. And he's like, oh, she's 5. This is freaking crazy. No, she's not going to be on TV. Boom. I was on TV. And this was back when we had a house phone, like Uncle Bob. All my aunts and uncles blew up the phone.
Sure.
And then he tried to record it at the 6 o'clock news. Nope. Not good enough for 6 o'clock.
Oh.
Other things happening besides kindergarten classes, adopting baby llamas.
Well, you know what?
But you know what? Nobody remembers a thing of that 6 o'clock broadcast, and here we are still talking about the 5 o'clock.
That's right.
That was a news producer who should have lost their job that day.
Right?
That's right. And think of all the therapy that's had to happen since to deal with that loss.
The old sayings are still so true. Guys, it's always about the llamas. I mean, how many times have we heard that?
Correct.
651-989-ROCK. You ever been on TV for any reason? The weirder the better. I do remember the Bill Murray skit where someone asked him, hey, you ever been on TV before? And he goes, Yankee Stadium, long shot. Pretty good stuff.
Carrie, I love this. It's not like she was featured. She was in the background on an Antiques Roadshow episode in Fargo.
Ooh, hey, that works.
Good for her.
Yeah,
I love that. I love on in the background. That's the best. I love that.
Sure.
Jennifer says, I was on the Channel 9 News in the late 90s when the Rolling Stones were at the Dome. They asked me to sing my favorite Stones song. I sang Jumping Jack Flash. That is not my favorite Stones song. It's Start Me Up and Miss You.
Hey, man, you know what? When the pressure's on, the mic's in your face, the camera light turns on, it's like, wait, what did she say she sang? Gimme Shelter?
No, Jumpin' Jack Flash.
Oh, Jumpin' Jack Flash.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. For some reason, I just immediately went to that Mary Clayton backup vocal part on Gimme Shelter. I was like, wow, you really went for it.
Yeah.
But, Jumpin' Jack Flash is not too bad itself. What else?
I've got one more. We didn't get a name with this one, but it's really, really cool. I carried the Olympic torch for 3 blocks many years ago when it came through Minneapolis.
Oh, now that is cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's really cool. Couldn't get a name. I asked. We don't have a name signed, but they didn't get back to me. But still really cool.
Same fire source as Snoop Dogg. I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Heck yeah, man. Olympic torch is pretty strong.
Steve asked and answered on the Facebook page. Tim says, actually, for being arrested is why he was on TV. He was in the back of the cop car. They did not blur his face cop style. Way back in the late 1900s, he says.
Wow.
There you go. Handcuffs involved.
Or as my daughter refers to them, simply the 19. Because in Marley Gorman's life, the stock market crash of 1929 and the Iran-Contra issues of the 1980s, the same thing.
Same thing.
Sure. It's all the same. The 19s.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
If it's pre-2000, pretty sure it's all the same. Everybody looked the same. Everybody dressed the same. Everybody acted the same. It's good to be born in 2002, I suppose.
Right.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
It is time to play a game. WTF, Wisconsin, Texas, Florida. We have wild tickets. Saturday night versus Anaheim. These tickets are in the bowl. These are good down low seats, baby.
Come on.
And we want to offer them to whoever can correctly guess which of the 3 states listed these 3 stories take place in. It can be one of each. It could all 3 be in Wisconsin, Texas, or Florida, or any combination therein. It is Ryder's edition. Ryder, what have you got for us?
Okay, this one is going to be a short-term memory test, so I hope that you guys have been paying attention this week.
Supposed to be a time to celebrate the first Bass Pro Shops in a quickly turned into a massive brawl. We don't know what started the fight, but locals say they're disappointed this happened right here in their backyard. A brawl at Bass Pro Shops brought punches, kicks, and shouting matches.
If you wonder why our schools are falling apart, y'all are the example.
Shoppers left with more than they bargained for, taking bait and tackle a little too seriously on Saturday.
Yes.
This is not unexpected, but it's unfortunate that it happened. It's a bad look with a new business opening, but I hope it don't deter people from showing up. You know, some things around here kind of common. This is a common thing. This is what it is.
Turning opening weekend into a viral moment for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah, I actually didn't even hear about it initially. A friend of mine sent me the link to the video. That's how I initially found out about it.
Police responded to a disturbance Saturday afternoon after a man became upset with another man while waiting in line for the restroom. The argument escalated into a brawl and spilled into the lobby involving several people. Witnesses say after fighters were removed, they returned back to the store and started fighting again. That's when Bass Pro Shops kicked out the people who started the fight and officially banned them from coming back. So far, no arrests were made and no charges were filed. We also reached out to General Manager Rob Pipkin, and he has no comment at this time. However, the store is open for business. Reporting in Sanji Milburn, News 9.
If you wonder why our schools are falling apart.
It's a sad reflection. It's a sad reflection on Fistfight County, but you know what? We're doing what we can to try to shake off the associations of the poorly informed name. It's not everybody in Fistfight County does this, just a few people.
I know. Now I'm going to have to
What does that mean? What does it mean when the guy goes, this is not unexpected?
Right?
Really?
Maybe it's because I don't know that this is common to this state, but it's common to Bass Pro Shops, and he just might be uninitiated.
I guess so. Unbelievable.
Poor dude.
That could be it. Yeah, that could be
That's a good one.
Okay, terrible Bargument gone very, very wrong here.
Now, we're learning new information from investigators that an argument over chickens is what led to a shooting outside a bar. Now, this surveillance video shows 44-year-old Peter Riera hiding after police say he fired a gun at 3 people. Now, this happened yesterday in the parking lot of Harper's Pub off of Boulevard. No one was hurt, but investigators tell us Riera and the 3 victims had been drinking together when they got into an argument over chickens.
There was a conversation about how many, I kid you not, how many eggs a chicken can lay, and that conversation got a little heated, and as it went out into the parking lot, the conversation continued, and the shooter became agitated, became paranoid.
Police tell us Riera claimed the 3 victims were trying to con him, but investigators say they spoke to witnesses and that claim was unsubstantiated. Now, officers also arrested 2 of the 3 victims, one for obstruction, the other for resisting arrest.
Okay, but how many eggs can a chicken lay is my first thought.
I just think it's trying to con him over how many eggs are laid or what? Like, what's the con job?
I don't think this was spawned by an argument over eggs. I think it was all the meth they were smoking.
You might be right there.
Man. What in the world? Because who's having a fight over that topic other than somebody who's hi?
Yeah. They've been hitting the glass. Wow. They're hitting the glass.
That's pretty impressive.
Okay, here we go. Final one. Safe to say
Holy
this person
cow.
is not going to win Teacher of the Year.
A teacher could lose her job in... You're looking at her picture here. Nuria Kuna is accused of showing up to work at high school high from cocaine. New here at 7. News reporter Kennedy Mason explains what students say she let them do that's breaking even more school rules.
The school district is working on removing Nuria Kuna from high school. A former friend of hers tells me it's heartbreaking, but not surprising.
It's really sad because I do love her, you know. I'm sorry. I want to see all my friends succeed.
Yvette Porta is heartbroken to hear the news about her friend of 3 years. But at the same time,
I wasn't really in shock.
She says in the last year, she's noticed a drastic change to Nuria Acuna's mood, body, and relationships. But Porta doesn't think that's an excuse.
You don't know how you're influencing these kids and how you can start them into an addiction.
According to school board documents, Acuna came to work under the influence in February. A saliva test came back as positive for cocaine. Multiple students told investigators she vaped and allowed students to vape in class. She also shared her personal vaping device. Per the school board policy, drug testing is allowed when there is reasonable suspicion. Acuna is suspended without pay until her hearing next week.
As a friend, I really wish her healing.
Failing a drug test and vaping are not criminal charges. As for sharing a vape with students, police say they have no evidence right now to prove that happened. Live in studio, Kennedy Mason.
Wow.
Not getting Teacher of the Year.
No, probably not.
No.
Okay, but if she's got cocaine money, maybe we are paying teachers enough. I'm just going to say that.
She's going to win the Teacher of the. You hear what happened to that teacher? Man.
Also, there's no guarantees that she used money to get that cocaine. Just saying.
Okay.
Oh, here we go.
All
Here
right.
we go. Man. All right, that's a solid round of stories right there. Wisconsin, Texas, Florida. Looks like Dave in Minneapolis called in, and Ryder, correct me if I'm wrong, but Dave has it figured out.
Dave's got it nailed, yes.
Nice work, Dave.
All right, let's have a recap.
Okay, we'll see how you two do. The first story, this is the short-term memory test, but big outbreak at a Bass Pro Shop that led us to ask this question.
You wonder why our schools are falling apart.
Who wants to go first? Steve, you got this one locked in?
I do.
It's thankfully wasn't that long ago we discussed the fact that this went down in Texas.
Correct, Texas is right.
Yes, absolutely. Right. Yeah, Dave, can you confirm?
Fistfight County is in Texas.
That's right.
Fistfight County.
Fistfight County.
All right, here we go. Bargument over how many eggs a chicken can lay. Where did that go down?
Without, again, don't want to overthink it. If you just said to me at any day of any year since I've been an adult, I'd go, well, that's got to be Florida.
Oh, really?
Fletcher?
I'm thinking this is such a tedious and simpleton type of an argument or bargument to have, and there's drinking involved. I got to go with Wisconsin, baby.
All right, Dave?
I used to live there, and they're always arguing about chickens in Florida.
There we go.
No!
All right.
How? Oh, damn it.
All right, then last one. Teacher high on cocaine letting students use her vape, not getting Teacher of the Year. Steve, where's that happening?
I just, all roads lead to Scarface, so I'm going to stick in Florida.
Okay.
Yeah. If there's cocaine involved, if you're not overthinking, you just land in Florida.
All right. Dave?
Cocaine, Florida.
Nice work.
Come on. I like that. I feel like Dave and I might have just run the table here.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
nice.
Excellent.
How are the chicken eggs in Florida? I'm still hung up on it.
I get to pump my fist, and Dave gets to go see the Wild. I think he's the big winner here.
Well, yeah. That's how it should work.
Nice work,
right
Dave.
on, Dave.
Yeah. Well
Congratulations, brother. Enjoy that game. The Wild versus Anaheim this Saturday. I love to see a good man win tickets to see a big game. That's great stuff. Let's move on to the holidays. Thanksgiving's right around the corner, which means, of course, many of our neighbors are already putting up all the Christmas crap.
Your neighbors are?
I call it Christmas crap. That said, as I get older, I get a little softer. There was a time when I would have been like, come on, dude. Get past Black Friday. Get into December. Then talk to me. And now, as I soften with age, I see them and I go, not for me, but okay. I'm not going to call you names behind your back. I mean, we all get a little wiser as we age. But an awful lot of people are bringing this up. There's a viral video, the wife trying to put up Christmas decorations, and the husband is saying it's too early, and it's turned into a whole conversation. Is it too soon? When I was a kid, Christmas wasn't nearly. Here we go. When I was a kid, oh my God! But
it's true.
It really is something that I don't think anybody, when I was, before I was, in my 20s, I never saw a Christmas light in my life before Thanksgiving, ever, anywhere in anyone's house.
Agreed.
And now it's pretty much, from early October on, it's just a free, it's open season, if you will. Ryder, I don't have to ask you if you've put up your Christmas lights yet.
No.
Something tells me that's not really a question of yet or soon or when, but what are you talking about?
Yeah. The one thing that's sticking out in my brain is I have this one neighbor who's very confused because they have these Charlie Brown, it's the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown cutouts in their yard that are still up and also have the Christmas lights up and on. And I just don't think that they know. Somebody's got to get them a calendar or something. They just seem very confused.
That is clashing fashion right there.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Man, well, Arbor Day's right around the corner, too, I'm
know.
sure. Let's wait and see what happens then.
Yes.
Fletcher, what's the scene in Albertville?
Well, so it's actually kind of a serious thing for me. I used to be staunchly like, no, nothing before Thanksgiving. This is ridiculous. And then I accidentally killed the Christmas spirit in my life. And so now I've been trying to bring it back because I feel really bad. She used to just like last year we barely decorated because she's like, I don't care anymore because I kind of beat it out of her basically. So now trying to build it back up. So if she wants to put stuff out early, it's like, okay, yeah, you do you. Like I'd much rather have Christmas spirit Spencer than smashed and beaten into a corner Spencer that doesn't care about the season anymore. So
So when you say you do you, are you implying that you're not jumping up to help and even in fact design some of the new decorations? You're just saying it's okay if you do it, but you're not diving in yourself, or am I reading too much into that statement?
No, I don't do any of it. I'll definitely help with the tree.
Don't do any of it?
No, I don't want to put up. I don't want to put. No, I'm talking about decor. I'm talking about Christmas tree. No, it's not.
Yeah,
she has fun with it. She putters around and puts it out when she feels like it, and I'm just like. I used to be like, can we just wait until after Thanksgiving? Is that too much to ask? And then eventually that like kind of beat her down where she's just like, I'm just not going to do anything. And so now it's like if she wants to put stuff out on November 5th, like fine, go for it. When it comes to the Christmas tree and lights and stuff, I'm all in on helping. But I'm talking about decor around the house and whatnot to start slowly rolling it out, if you will.
Unsolicited hot tip. Just be the guy that opens the box and says, would you like me to hand you any of these? I mean, and she'll say no, but you're going to get the points. See what I'm saying? You got to make the effort.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's a thing. We're working through it, like it's till death do we part. There's ebbs and flows, and we're in an ebb right now, but it's okay.
Okay, don't take that till death do we part thing all that seriously. You still got to work in the middle. You still got to work the middle of the field. I mean, yeah, you know where the end zone is, but the play calling still matters along the way.
For sure.
Yes, we're only playing 60 minutes today, but let's make every play count.
Right.
651-989 Rock. Is it too soon to be putting up the lights? I do think this has shifted so much. As we all love to say, everything's so commercialized now. Christmas was always commercialized. I'm not suggesting it wasn't. I don't remember a time when I wasn't staring at the Sears catalog every day in December going, I want this page and I want that page. I mean, but the idea of when you were allowed to decorate, especially externally, the yard, the stuff outside for others. Christmas lights too soon, right on time. What do you think? 651-989 Rock. What do we got, Fletcher?
Todd says, young kids are the reason to get excited about the lights. And the pro tip is they're easy to put up when it's still warm out rather than waiting for Thanksgiving weekend. Only if it's not blizzard. It's at least windy and cold as F. This coming Saturday will be perfect time to put them up. I agree with that. You just don't turn them on.
I didn't think about the kids. It's always about the kids.
Yeah.
And the weather. Yeah, that's true. Always about the weather, too.
Rich I wanted to bring up Rich because he said too soon. Wait till after Thanksgiving. I think putting them up early is fine. Just don't turn them on. But I pointed out Rich in White Bear Lake because U.S. Air Force veteran of 33 years.
Hey, thanks, bud.
Yeah.
Right on,
nice
man.
work.
Yeah. 100% Rich.
On Veterans Day, we're glad to hear from you, my friend.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
Various times that we have found ourselves on television. I believe Greg from Eden Prairie is on the horn. Greg, good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you?
We're great, brother. What have you got for us?
Well, I was on American Gladiators in 1991, and it was It was quite a trip, quite a surprise.
No friggin' way.
Once I got down to Hollywood, they kept us down there for about 3.5 weeks to actually do the filming. And I can tell you this, Steve, it was for real.
Okay.
These guys were big, strong, and fast, and they could hit. I was a contester.
I'm gonna go ahead and reintroduce you as Badass Greg from Eden Prairie is on the horn. So 3.5 weeks?
Yeah, it took a while because there were several different tiers. And you had to get through the first round, the second round, third round, fourth round, then I think the finals. I ended up getting beat up pretty bad by the second round. I came home with I had a pulled hamstring, a fractured foot, and a concussion.
Oh, dude.
Well, yeah, back in 1992, concussions were just a bump on the head. So, yeah.
Well, that was kind of it. They let me finish the show, but it happened early on in the show. They were going to pull me off because it was pretty clear I was kind of out of it, but I knew I wasn't going to finish strong. But I kind of told the trainer, who was the trainer for the Lakers at the time, said, "Hey, you pull me out of here, I'll kill you. Just let me finish." And he said, "Okay, it's your life."
Lean, mean machine.
What was the audition process? How did you get selected?
There was tryouts at the field house at the U, and there was an estimated 5,000 people that had gone there and tried out. And it was a combination of 5 different trial events that involved speed and strength. And then the last of the 5, you actually had to go one-on-one with another contestant. I kind of chewed him up real bad, and they liked that. The producer of the show was down there, and he thought that was pretty cool. So I got a call from him a few days later and said, "Hey, we'd like to have you come on."
Hey, Greg. I was a diehard American Gladiator watcher. There were always it felt like 2 different types of competitors: lean, mean, just no fat whatsoever, and agile, and then the brick S house. Which one were you? Were you more of the brick?
I was actually, I was lean and mean. I went in at about 205 pounds and not carrying a whole lot of extra.
Gotcha.
But I was, I was a power lifter. I was a linebacker in football and trained strength. The guys that paired better were closer to 6'2" with longer arms. They had the reach. And I think the reach played a big part of it because I was just always an inch or 2 away from getting the ball or getting whatever I needed where it needed to go.
Yeah.
And I went in there with the old football linebacker type attitude where I'm just going to hit these guys. But I'll tell you what, when they're 6'4", 6'3", 255 pounds of lean steroid muscle, hitting them wasn't really real effective.
I love the throwing in their steroid muscle.
Yeah, but it was for real. I'll tell you, it was. These guys were strong, fast, but really great guys. We all partied together, had a great time hanging out in that period of time.
That's way cool.
Man,
what a cool experience.
That's awesome. Greg, thanks so much for calling in, Ryder.
Did you have
absolutely,
did you have a favorite
listening to you guys.
Did you have a favorite obstacle, one that you're like, I'm nailing this one?
I think my favorite one was actually the Eliminator, the final.
Okay.
It was kind of a circuit where you did a number of different things, but this is where I will say the one thing where I think they could kind of, I don't know, I want to say fix it a little bit. Whereas one side of that Eliminator, because you were actually going neck to neck with the other competitor. It was about the only thing that you really did other than the pugil sticks. And one side was a little easier, a little faster than the other side.
Ooh, scandalous.
And I made them aware of that when we were, rehearsing, because we had a couple of weeks to get on the game and actually play with the stuff and rehearse and try the stuff, because a lot of that wasn't stuff you could just jump right on and do.
Right.
So we had to kind of learn it, and I made them aware of that, and they kind of go, "Oh yeah, okay, well, thanks for telling us." Kind of, okay, I get it,
Yeah.
Man,
that's awesome.
That's awesome. Greg, thanks so much for the call, man. That's fascinating.
Yeah.
We really
Thanks,
appreciate
guys.
it.
Keep on rocking.
Thanks, Greg.
We'll do it. That is
Greg's
great.
awesome. Maybe we get
651-989-ROCK. If you can top that, feel free.
We need Greg as an official bouncer of Gorman in the Morning. That's what we need.
There's
security
some riffraff
detail
in the studios at times. I mean, it would be good to have you be able to give the hook to somebody.
Why are you looking at me when you say that?
Just saying, you never know. Things can turn in a hot second. 651-989-ROCK. If there's any texts you want to share with us, you better get them in quick. We're rolling right along. Anything, Fletcher, right now you want to share?
You know what? Let's tangent from the being on TV. You touched on snakes, which kind of freaked you out, which they freaked me out as well. And Jenny jumped in. She said she's part of the Minnesota Herpetological Society, and you can find out, if you go to the website, you can find out how many snakes there are venomous here. They are more in the southern part of the state, but we are kind of the southern part of the state, like Ryder said. Also, Snake Discovery in Maplewood is an awesome place to go see some reptiles. Or I can always bring in some of my special creatures, which none are venomous, but I do have a very large boa constrictor.
Ooh, yes. We got a snake expert. I like it.
Hi, Jenny, if you want to come in this week, that'd be great. Because I'm not around. I'm in New York City.
I have a funny feeling.
Cities like this because I don't expect to see snakes anywhere.
I have a feeling that if we plan Jenny to come in sometime, I'm going to be sick that day.
Yeah, man.
Guys.
Whatever,
no, I just no.
I don't mind the boas as much. I don't mind the constrictors, the squeezers as much. You tell me you've got a rattlesnake within a square mile of me, and I'm getting a little nervous. I'm just like, I can handle, when need be, the presence of a python or a boa constrictor. I'm just saying, I don't necessarily want that to be the case, and I would like to make sure that everybody has simply fed that animal right before I walk into a room with it, so that it's bloated and not able to move, and then I can handle it. That's what I need. That's all I need.
My spine is just consistently tingling since I read that text. Just nonstop.
A lot of text messages of times we found ourselves on TV and other things. Fletcher, what do we got?
Dawn fired off this one. Gorillas at Como Zoo got a new enclosure. There I was making faces at the gorillas. Turns out it was a commercial shoot for the exhibit, and that ended up on TV.
Nice.
Nice. Very nice.
Well played, Dawn.
Yeah.
Even if by accident.
Hey, listen up. This is kind of cool. Actually, it's very cool. KQ's really cool. Rock the Pantry. It's going on right now through November 21st, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. every day, Monday through Saturday. We are collecting non-perishable food donations here at KQ Studios, 2000 Southeast Elm Street. This is for the Open Door Pantry. Every donor will get KQ swag and a shot to win awesome prizes like Minnesota Wild tickets, autographed pucks, and a signed Kirill Kaprizov jersey. Pretty
nice.
Sweet. More information, I should say, can be found at 92kqrs.com. Sponsored by MSP Plumbing, Heating, Air.
Yes.
Ryder.
The lobby is full of prizes. So
Yeah.
if you're off work today because it's Veterans Day, come on down all day. If you just want to pop in during lunch, you will drop off some food. You will walk away with something cool, and you'll get entered for the jersey and other stuff.
That's great.
Nice.
And on top of that, also at 92kqrs.com, you can see, if you click on Rock the Pantry, they've got a list of specific items that they really are in need of. So
great.
I mean, they'll obviously take anything, cash even if you want, but there are specific items they could really use.
Awesome. Make it a plan. Come on by, pick up some swag, have a good time, do the right thing, is what they say. All right, we got a little bit of time left, just the right amount of time for the last word.
Yeah.
This is not a movie I'm going to tell you about. This is a true story. Vienna, Austria, a woman named Hedy Keisler. She was 19 years old in the late 30s, and she starred in a movie from Czechoslovakia. It was called Ecstasy, and it was a scandalous film about women and sexuality, and for the time, incredibly groundbreaking, but also scandalous. She was, just sort of recoiled. The public could not stand her. But there was a guy named Friedrich Mandl. He was one of Austria's wealthiest citizens. He married her. He said, I'm going to take that girl. I want her to be my wife. And then he pretty much imprisoned her. He was an arms dealer. He serviced arms to Hitler and Mussolini, and he locked her away in a castle for real, dressed her up for dinner parties. She was essentially a trophy wife, a possession. And she had to sit through endless business meetings where they were discussing military technology. But she's pretty bright cookie. She kept listening, and she kept thinking about ways that she could upend the situation in the world. They were discussing torpedoes, radio frequencies, military communications. In 1937, she escaped. She drugged her maid, stole her maid's clothes, fled to Paris, then got to London, and she met Louis B. Mayer, the head of MGM Studios, and he said, "You're beautiful. I'm going to give you a contract." She sailed to America and changed her name to Hedy Lamarr and became a huge Hollywood star.
Wow.
Once she was in Hollywood, she knew that radio-controlled torpedoes could be jammed by the enemy, making them useless. And if you transmitted a signal on a single frequency, the enemy could detect it and disrupt it. But what if the signal kept changing frequencies? What if you could hop from one frequency to another that only the transmitter knew? Long story short, she met with a few other people, kept explaining how she thought they could develop some new technologies. She got a patent for it. The Navy ignored it, put it away until the early 1960s. 20 years later, they're like, "Hey, what's that frequency hopping thing?" Well, they put it to good use. And frequency hopping is the foundation for what we now know as Bluetooth and Wi-Fi.
Holy crap.
Yeah, there we go.
All modern wireless communication dates back to Hedy Lamarr, who literally was imprisoned in a castle as a trophy wife as a teenager. Hedy Lamarr, nice job on screen, way better job off screen. So, one of those sort of like, I've always heard her name. And why is that? Oh, well, because she played a large part in our entire modern lives almost 100 years ago.
That's insane. You know what? When she was in prison, she kind of sounded like a Disney princess. For real. Like, that sounds like the stories of most Disney princesses.
It's incredible.
And then she turns out to do that.
Insane.
Wow.
Tomorrow on Gorman in the Morning, we'll talk about the gig tonight. Howl Owl Howl has a little gig in New York City. We'll have ourselves a good old-fashioned Bargument. Fletcher, what's coming up right now on this very radio station?
First off, wishing you guys an awesome gig tonight. Hope you have an absolute blast. Can't wait to hear about it tomorrow.
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
Commercial free just after 11:45. Wild tickets again. We'll do that in the noon hour while we're commercial free, and we'll kick things off at 10 with Black Crowes, Weezer, and Collective Soul.
Rock steady. Keep it right here on Minnesota's 92 KQSR. What?
Gorman in the Morning is also Gorman on the go. Get the 92 KQRS app and stream live or catch the Gorman in the Morning podcast anytime. 92 KQRS.